Hello and welcome to round 5 of WTCR. I'm here in the commentary box with Joseph and Ethan, and this is the first ever sprint race of WTCR and also the first ever split qualifying session. And surprisingly, the first session was a lot faster, but let's see who's the fastest now on the track. As you can see, it's Hackinson, the pole. Alongside him, it's Torres.
Away they go. Doesn't look like too good of a start for Torres.
Yeah,
He's
Babinil
gonna
is side by side with him.
Oh, he's completely barged into Babin. He's up to
Yeah.
second, and Kristoffersen has gone off into the next galaxy.
Full course yellow again, so it will be safety car again.
You turned it off.
No, I will
Right,
start
'Cause
my
if you don't, it's gonna keep coming out because these
So-
guys will crash.
Away we go. There,
I know that's something you could
let's
do,
see.
but...
Torres is now. Oh,
And Hackinson has sent it.
And Torres going massively wide as well.
Right, who's going to come out in the lead here? Because Torres has definitely gained an advantage by going off. Right,
Understatements.
Torres leads. Then comes Hackinson,
the
Babin,
century.
Kristoffersen, and Mendez with a linguistic behind him. Set up to Boucher, then into Radion.
Shockingly, most of the drivers have kept their positions.
Touchwood.
It's not going to last though because
Here
very
comes
feisty field. Kristoffersen, I think, is pulling
a
out on
great place
Babin.
to dive bomb everyone. Here we go.
And I see Bonaventura on Nikolaev there. So Mendez is also trying to have a look.
Mendez trying to...
Babin's back through, but he's gone
I
wide.
don't know, Lichtensteiner.
Not have the inside. And Mendez is through. And Lichtenstein is having a beat. Now Corleone's
Corleone and
go at
Lindquist.
Lindquist. Corleone is going to be past Lindquist and he's going to try to have a piece of Lichtensteiner. And Lichtensteiner is fighting back, but Corleone's got the outside and with a little bit of extension.
Slightly more outsider.
Still. I also see one of the MP cars side by side with his teammates in the background. Lichtensteiner's up the inside. Lindquist trying to go around the outside of him, and Bonaventura
in the back.
taking a
like
massive
Nikolaev.
bit of the run off there.
Wow, everybody's ignoring track limits.
Track limits don't exist.
It's somebody's off. Track.
Oh.
Yeah.
Off the side of the track. Not particularly being a great season for him.
And the team in general.
To be honest.
Yeah, it was Rodriguez. Right, the team scored all their points in the first race.
Got clipped by one race wonder Marriott Boucher.
Something just gives way. It seems like it just loses. I don't know if it's like it's stuck in gear or something's else broken, but it just doesn't seem like there's any drive.
Right, it hits the curb, it's riding the curb and then stops. Yeah, suspension.
Well, I don't know about it because it snapped out a little bit, but then it just seemed like it lost drive. I don't know if it's like drive shaft or something like that.
We'll find out later whether I'm right or you're right, or both of us are wrong again.
Okay. Now all over the rear bumper of Torres.
Gonna want a little bit of revenge for that nudge at the first corner. Is Hackinson gonna go on Torres? Both of these drivers were one of only 5 drivers to win during one of the regular races. Cordova is out.
Wow. I mean, what a couple of races for Cordova. Dominated the first race at Silverstone. And then finished 12th. And now at the race. After a battle of quarters. Ups and downs, swings and roundabouts.
Oh. That just something's broken there. Just snaps. But if you have two cars going out of the race so soon, I can't imagine this going to be the end of this. I feel we're going to have a fair few retirements.
Race.
But that is Cordova out. And though Hennessy very slow.
I get the feeling
don't really think a surprising statement.
I get the feeling if we ever make a highlights video out of this, the song in the background should be Another One Bites the Dust, in my opinion. But that's just me. Perhaps.
Some drivers going very wide there.
No, that's an actual racing line. We've discussed. They're just using the Lewis Hamilton permitted line, it's fine.
Hackens are now really close.
Are we going to see a new race winner? Yes, a new race winner. Yes. It would appear my words have become about as bad as my predictions.
This commentary is going diabolical, but the racing is still somewhat good. Torres leads. And is hoping to make up for how atrocious the start of the season for him has been so far. Lundqvist going to try to go down the inside, but the outside line's very strong. And Lichtsteiner is through.
What is he?
It's the race for P7. Oh, Indai. Don't want to go down the inside there. Indai is in the points, which is...
Wait, what?
Sentence I was not expecting to say. P12 for Indai.
Indai is in the points. I don't
that
think
makes him the highest positioned Chevrolet of the race so far. And Babineau's trying to have a good ding-dong fight with Mendez. I have no clue what I just said. They are barging each other.
Corleone is catching up.
Mendez is going to have a little bit of a run. He's going to have the inside, but we know these outside lines are very, very strong with these cars.
Yeah.
But this is not particularly the place you want to be going side by side. Right around the outside.
What a move.
Very reminiscent of the move Verstappen pulled, and I think it was Nasser or Ericsson in F1 in his very early days in 2015. Very bold move.
I can't remember what I did in 2015.
Oh, the two teammates having a scrap. But it seems that there is currently, fingers crossed, no more retirements for that.
It was fine.
Oh, Mendez has gone very wide, and Corleone's going to have a piece of him.
Oh, this is going to be fun for Evolution to rally on. One of them's going to end up...
Corleone.
Oh, come on. We want to see some side-by-side action here. Who's going into rally on? Please. I want to see someone blow up.
Oh, and Dye's having a little look on the exit. I think Indai got Rodel on the exit. It just seemed Rodel lost all pace.
We are waiting for ONSC. Very.
There you go. How far behind? Yeah. Very good battle there.
And then
Indai is past Rodel. I think he got past him on the exit of through Radion, actually. I think that's what I ended up seeing. Well, obviously we can't be too sure. The angle we didn't get was the
Can't really be too sure of this series.
I think behind him through Eau Rouge, I think he got through Radion. I think Rodel was slow. Yeah. Up through Radion. Kept the pace. And that's the overtake. Very instinctive driving, but surprised Rodel was so slow. Oh. Perez trying to barge his way out through there. But ultimately, a lot of these faster corners, you don't want to be on the inside because you just lose too much speed. The only corners I think you probably want the inside are at the ends of the very long straights. Atkinson tucked him behind. very patient.
Patience could be a virtue in this series. I say
It
nonsense.
absolutely can be. And his teammate would know, because that
Too
is
much
how Maverick
patience,
Boucher
however.
won the first race of the season. Just keeping it clean. Which is something we can't particularly say Torres has a history for so far this season. Well, last
Torres
season.
has been completely clean. But like you can really see, the cars are maxing out going as fast as they can down the straight.
Oh, Mendez having a look.
Oh, Mendez has gone!
Oh.
Mendez.
Oh,
no!
Was it hit and die?
For once, it wasn't a diet fault.
Now, was he hit, or did he just try and make a bit too much of an ambitious run?
I'm getting
on the inside and just pull out and just spin it.
I'm getting Monza 2019 vibes out of that.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. Getting a little bit of a run, just keeping it patient.
Mendez just
lunges
continues to be the most frustrating driver.
It's an ambitious overtake and there's no room. Poor mistake by Mendez, and it's another one. Mendez just mega fast, but just all these little mistakes. Well, it's not particularly a little mistake; it's a rookie error, to say the least.
It's like a 7. He's like an 18-year-old who doesn't quite know their drinking limits yet.
Yeah. He's lost it at this point, and then Corleone just gave him a nudge to properly send him on his way. Yeah, it may have got otherwise, but you just don't want to put yourself into these positions. Because if you do,
it's just clumsy racing in general from Mendez there. He knew he wasn't going to get it, so what you do is you back off, you wait for turn 1.
Exactly. Or you wait to potentially go down through out of radio and down the main straight.
He didn't even make contact with Babino. It looked like he just lost the car on the curb and then got shunted.
Yeah, he just pulled to the inside.
I thought he made contact with Babino.
Then he saw just coming across. Nothing you can do there after you're already in there.
And then here comes Ndaye.
Ooh.
And just nothing you
can
do.
To be fair, he probably should have gone to the right.
I
wouldn't say Mendez is at fault. Any driver with a working pole should have been able to put off to the right there and avoid that.
I think.
But then again, this isn't Ndaye, so.
In my opinion, I think Mendez. Oh, Kristoffersen now going for the lead. He's jumped past Hackney.
Are we going to see some side-by-side action in Rouge? I mean, he's disappointed again.
I think they all just went really wide. I think he's just got a massive run because of. But now he's going to be vulnerable coming up and down the main big straight here. He's going to have Torres in the draft. Atkinson's pulled out on Torres.
No,
but he's just
is now defending from Babinu.
No, and he's barging Torres, getting a bit of revenge for turn 1.
And look at Babino.
And passed into P2. I wasn't expecting to say Kristoffersen was leading this line. Kristoffersen, apologies.
So you probably should have expected it. Potentially.
He has been decent this season so far.
He's only a second ahead, he's off.
These Ironside cars just didn't particularly have that edge at the first couple of races they did, but in the last few they've definitely been really bringing it together, and they've been up front, so they've looked dangerous.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, ultimately, consistently being at the front is what's going to get you the results, and ultimately in a field so tightly competitive. Babinu's got past Torres as well now. But in a field so tightly competitive, it's going to be that which is what's going to get you potentially the championship. Bit early to say. Very early to say. Yeah, just a lunge. Oh, a little loose.
Around the outside.
But very aggressive, but good
nice.
driving.
Yeah.
Didn't do a Mendez, which is always a good thing.
Torres might have a look down the inside here.
Torres
he's going down the inside. And he's been cut off. Oh,
nearly.
Go around then. I was getting deja vu.
Look at that. 3 wide.
It's just a bit of a late. These moves are just a little bit too late. And when it's a bit late, the driver up front can just command the line a lot better. And when that happens, it's just really tough. I can't really say the saying there, but tough stuff, essentially. Firmino in the last points position. Going up the hill.
Of course, got his first podium.
Kristoffersen has got a solid lead. His teammate, who has some fairly sizable damage on that front right, is fighting with Amara Perez, who has got past Corleone. No.
Oh, and Madison at the back.
This is missing a front bumper.
I also think we're missing another driver. I think there's only 29 in the field currently. So I think someone else is retired at some point.
No.
Oh.
Just Cordova, but it was already out. Ooh, Boucher just...
that would explain what happened to the yellow. That would explain why I saw yellow flags at some point.
Oh!
Harriet Boucher! What? Now, I don't want to say that was attempted murder. How has Madison not been punted off into the barriers there? I don't know. Can we ban Harriet Boucher for a race? What is that?
That is very dangerous drive. That is reckless.
Hector Rodriguez just about avoided it.
It's sure gonna be a penalty.
I don't know who the reserve driver for that team is, but I think they're getting very excited now seeing Boucher doing that, because that could definitely bring a fairly hefty penalty.
It's Nico Hulkenberg. I mean, I'm sorry, Mariette Boucher, you've won race wonder. Have your super license chewed up, spat out, and flushed down the toilet. That was awful.
Oh,
is that what
coming
we call
into
this in the series, a super license, or is WTCL something else?
I mean, I'll call it a super license because I'm assuming we have that.
Either way.
I mean, this season has been a real bag of ups and downs for Mariette Boucher. At the start of the season, we were thinking she might win the title. Now, if you say that, you'll just be assumed to be another loony like me. No, we're all laughing at you.
What I will say, though, is we know that the officials are willing to step in, because after the move in pit lane by Nikolaev, they were immediately honest and immediately said that you're not allowed to do that. So we know they were going to intervene. We've seen some terrible driving throughout the season, and but bad driving like what Mendez done, a bit too ambitious and spins.
How do you define bad driving, though?
That was just reckless.
Do you define it as bad driving as in slow, or bad driving as in reckless? Because if we were banning drivers based off of slow driving, I think half the field would be banned.
I do mean...
Not going to say names because I don't want to get accused of bullying. However, there are people who are slow on the grid.
I think no names need to be mentioned because we already know. Kristoffersen's gone wide and Hackinson's now going to be up the inside.
Is now
Babine's going to try to get a piece of him. Hackinson's back up the lead for the first time since lap 1. Avenue's going to be all over the back of Kristoffersen now.
It's quite funny because since you praised the Ironside cars, Kristoffersen's dropped back. I don't want to say we've cursed something for the 200.
You say that, they're still second and fifth.
I mean, they've dropped back for the lead.
Well, it was an error, but it was a driver error, simply put it. Going out too wide, and that just allows Hackinson through. Well, Babinu might...
I thought Babinu was about to spin Kristoffersen off then.
I thought there was going to be a nudge there, and I thought that would have been nothing. Yeah.
Could it be Ethan looking like an absolute idiot this weekend instead of me?
I look an idiot every weekend. There's just less competition this weekend for that title.
This is complete.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very close, I think.
Torres is very close to Babinu.
In my opinion, one of two things is going to happen with Boucher. Either Boucher's going to get a race ban, or going to be put on probation for that. And I'd probably say probation. It was very reckless, but I probably think it's going to lean to probation.
This was his first case in the season, so maybe just a one-off error.
I mean, I've seen some pretty atrocious errors, but that's breaking like 100 meters later.
If they only give a warning for that, what message is that going to send out to the drivers? Oh, it's okay to dive bomb people at 300 miles an hour and hit them and nearly cause them to crash out the race if it was your first time of the season. I mean, imagine if the title fight goes down from the final race and someone does that and it was their first time of the season, so all they got was a warning. Like, what message does that send out?
We know that they're willing to intervene. They did so with when Nikolaev did it. But that was a minor incident. This is a much more noticeable incident. And as a result of that, they have... I have no doubt they're going to intervene.
Oh, for sure.
But you can't just slap someone on the wrist for that, because that's not just bad driving.
That's just... shocking. That's driving that we're trying to get out of the series. Exactly. We're all for competitive racing, but please do not try and murder each other.
Even if it's an error, that's still a massive error beyond the realms of a normal error. Oh, Angelino Torres going up the inside here.
You know, this is one of the biggest series.
I think he's half
this is one of the biggest series.
Torres back up into the podium.
I mean, if this is one of the biggest series, right, and we give drivers only a warning for that, what message then not only does that say to the drivers in this series, but also drivers in the lower series? That it's okay to do stuff like that. You only get a warning. Like, you know, younger drivers look up to some of these drivers, and if they see their idol doing that and only getting a warning, the message is just not there.
The thing, in my opinion, you can't just warn them there. You have to do something. And I'm not going to lie, quite frankly, you can't just give them a time penalty because Boucher's already in the middle of nowhere. So you can't just...
race ban. Put the reserve driver in.
Looking at towards a ban for a round, or looking at the mildest on probation. But that's the thing there. It depends what the officials decide. Meanwhile, oh goodness, the front two have properly launched themselves away. The battle between Babinu and Torres.
You see, what happened here is because I criticised your prediction, it undid the cursing you put on it. Since I cursed me saying that Kristoffersen was going to drop back, he's not dropping back.
Kristoffersen's going to win the race.
Oh, I'm not.
Oh, goodness. I wasn't expecting the jinx to come in there. Oh, goodness.
And Lynn... How many cars are going to use
lap 8 now. We're a fair bit into the race. Kristoffersen.
Liechtenstein's.
Oh, Torres is down to 5th now. Liechtenstein's path.
Some of these passing
this is the thing we see about these fairly hefty curbs on the exit. The red line's fairly tall. If you get onto that, you're just going to have to go over it. Because otherwise you're just going to make havoc of your floor. Oh.
Was that Leicester? Where was Leicester? What happened to the guy I said might win the title?
Madison's choking alongside Boucher.
Boucher's
got repairs.
Boucher's kind of got a punishment there, 29th place.
I mean, Boucher particularly wasn't fighting for points beforehand, so no.
One race wonder. We've already discussed this.
Oh. Stuff a lot of this people must be absolutely losing their minds because Torres was up in the lead. He was up fighting at the front, and their cars have been fairly competitive, but they've just dropped back in the races, or they've just had crashes or engine failures and all sorts, and it's the same old story of them. We're going to be mentioning this every round at this point. They're doing the same old thing. They're not learning, and it's just they're suffering for it. But someone who's not suffering from it is Håkansson, who's now pulled about 8 tenths on Kristoffersen and is leading.
Yeah, I mean, this is just...
And might I say, Renault is leading on pace, not on survivability, but on pace.
Yeah, and where is said Renault's teammate?
Boucher is 29.
I believe Håkansson was last season's runner-up. I may be wrong. Lichtstein has barged Babigny, but Babigny's going to try to go up the inside. He's going to lose Babigny some time. And this fight is giving Torres a chance to get back into the mix, and also Corleone behind. He's caught up a bit. Isn't Dye in the top 10? Oh.
What is Torres doing?
Babigny and Torres. Oh, Corleone's passed both of them. I don't know if this is... No, Indai's 11th at the moment, of which is, for his standards, pretty good. Mendez is back up into the top 10 after his spin earlier. A good old fight for third, I think 3 old cars. Oh, Boucher. Is there another car there? No. Oh, Corleone. I forgot Corleone had passed.
Here comes 2 Ironside cars.
Oh, and Lichtstein is through.
Lichtstein looks quick.
That's it.
I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
Race's winner. So.
Did
you say that Kristoffersen was going to win the race?
Inside.
I don't want to say you jinxed it. Look at how thin out they are in the midfield. Like, after you get past the top 8 or so, they're so thinned out. Some of these are running in different parts of Belgium.
Some of them just got lost on the old track. Yeah. Calm down a bit. They're sort of separating out some more now. Not catapulting into each other.
Hopefully.
We're nearly at 2 to go. Here's Balazin, who's had a very quiet day for his standards.
Yeah, but still the best Honda on the track.
And if you look behind him,
not particularly hard though. The Honda drivers are horrific. If I'm being brutally honest.
David Lester, not close for the title, I said.
This would be only a second point if he finishes in that place.
It was great second position for Leicester.
I'm very surprised no one else has had their cars expired on them yet after that first lap.
Well, we know what happens now. Two Ironside cars up through. Right, yeah. Don't be particularly racing too hard through in there, because if you go off at Eau Rouge,
you're probably in for a nasty hit, to say the least. Atkinson's properly taken off 2.6 seconds now. Where was this pace earlier? Brilliant job by the Ironside cars, though. Oh. The teammates having a good battle. They've been around each other all right, so it means something to keep them busy while they're back there. They're not particularly going to get any points today.
It's a great battle at that. 2 overtakes in 4 corners.
On the penultimate lap.
Thompson.
It seems that things have calmed down a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is what we had in Silverstone as well. That's the thing of a lot of these tracks with the long straightaways. You're just hectic at the start, then they all sort of spread out a bit, and that's that. Mendez.
Lindqvist, I'm disappointed by.
Wasted opportunity. He could have been on for a podium. He could be leading the race right now, but he was too ambitious, and he's down fighting for 10th. Although saying that, he's gained about 4 or 5 places since his era, and he's trying to have a piece of Lindqvist now, even though he cut the corner very clearly there. We're now on to the last lap, by the way. Torres got 4th temporarily, but he's gone wide. Argy-bargy, I hate to be one of those. Babin nearly got put in the wall. Babin and Corleone side by side, heading down to Eau Rouge.
Maybe.
Oh, they're side by side for Eau Rouge.
Here we go. What?
What an overtake!
Bobbing it back
Corleone.
maybe.
Just stuck it on the inside, barged his way through. And
Corleone's had a good race. Started 8th up to 5th. Not a bad little drive from the nationality here.
Italian.
Time to use this race's sponsor, the WTCL Hub. A wonderful place for learning facts about drivers. And also keeping an eye out for the standings.
Torres, very loose. I thought I was going to crash it. He completely lost the rear end, was on the grass. Good catch to save it and to keep going through the corner. But Torres is going to be giving his team manager a heart attack. Perez on the back. Di Bonaventura. Very quiet race for the reigning champion. He's had a good view, but he's now just had a very quiet one today.
And I think Corleone will...
If you ever need to commentate on this series, use the WTCL.
There's a fight for third now, and there was not before.
Say what,
and it's going to be going down into that very awkward turn.
Yeah.
Atkinson, providing he doesn't mess this up, looks set to win.
I think it's Torres going for a move in the background. Torres is up into third. Torres.
And look at Corleone. Where's Corleone come from? Where's the Italian come from? Babigno's gone to the countryside.
Kristoffersen stuck in fourth. He's had a gearbox failure on the last.
No. Wait, didn't you say Kristoffersen was going to win the race?
It's Corleone can have a go.
Second position.
How have you done?
Oh, Torres has lost third.
What's going on? Corleone from nowhere.
Corleone is on the podium.
How has Corleone got third? They were 5th or 6th entering the last lap.
What was happening?
What is going on? Carnage in the Belgian Grand Prix at the death.
Kristoffersen was stuck in 4th.
Tell you what, you properly jinxed Kristoffersen when you said he was going to win the race. I can't lie.
Torres got past him, coming down into that, way past here, but actually, yeah, he's just coming out this corner. He's got, he's gone up into 4th, and he's stuck.
He's in this forever now.
At this point, your heart just has to sink.
No,
he's lost the podium.
You said he was going to win the race.
In the worst possible way.
He was having a good race, and then he realised that you predicted him to win the race. That's what happened.
Oh, the commentators get us strikes again.
Yes, I'd like to officially make a new WTCL drinking game. Shot every time we kill someone. See how, and then you have to watch all the races in the season and see how long it is till you die. About 3 at most.
What we need to see is what happens with Torres. How Corleone nabbed him at the.
I mean, I want to see what Corleone
He was leading
into
the bus stop. He was leading.
Right, I want to see Corleone.
He slowed down here, taking his time. Because he knows he's got issues.
Right.
What is called?
There's Corleone.
He's pulled out.
Corleone is 5th with 3
Corleone's
corners.
had a
That's
mega
because
run, by the way.
Yeah,
He's not going to go round at this corner, the next corner, because that's crazy.
That was what Babino did.
Has he gone down the inside, or has he gone?
I'll tell you what. If Corleone's dive,
has he gone round the outside and gone over the curb? What's happening? Down the inside. Oh, he's barged him out the way.
Torres just went wide, and Corleone took advantage, and then Torres tried to get back. Corleone got the straight speed.
Yeah, I don't say he's gone wide.
I
think he's barged his way through there.
Driver of the day, Corleone. 8th to 3rd.
Really,
I don't know. Was there a little bit of contact there or not? It looks like there's contact there. What's happening?
No.
Or has he just taken the air off the rear bumper?
There isn't.
No. Error by Torres. I think Corleone's just gone right up on his bumper, and that's just taken a little bit of air off the rear there, and it's just made it a bit light, and it's gone away from him. But honestly, something usually more see in higher downforce cars, but it's just poor error by Torres there, and he's lost his first podium of the season. But in saying that, brilliant drive by Corleone.
Started at 8th, was like, what, 5th on the final lap? Ended up getting a podium. I
think that's the first top 10. And definitely the only top 5 Kristoffersen what I've had this season so far.
I will make sure that you're not lying. I will check this out on today's sponsor of WTCL.
So it's Hackinson who won the race.
9th at Bathurst. But yes, Hackinson, the race winner from pole. It wasn't easy. It wasn't a runaway like we've seen before. He lost out at the start. He fought back and solid all-round drive. Lichtsteiner, brilliant run-up. He up in 2nd despite having damage on the car. Corleone, another brilliant drive. Brilliant end of the race for him. Torres, disappointing. Started 2nd, got into lead, just dropped down. Started coming back through, but he lost it on the last lap. On the last corner. Then Babino down to the 5th. Another slightly disappointing. He wanted a bit more from Babino, but still overall solid. Bonaventura was up in the 6th at the end. Perez 7th. Mendez back up to 8th after that spin. Kristoffersen made it to the line 9th, despite being stuck in 4th gear. Then Lindqvist 10th and died in the points. What's happened here? Rodel is in 12th. Balajin 13th, the highest of the Hondas. Vysen 14th, the highest of the Envy cars. They've had a disappointing race. Leicester, disappointing. Poor qualifying compared to his teammate. He finished down 15th while his teammate was up in the front and finished 4th. And then the final points finisher, Nikolaev. Who, despite having a very mediocre race, seemed to get a lot of mention.
You're actually incorrect about Kristoffersen's first top 10 of the season.
And I would like to.
They got 8. Torres got 8th in the first round at Japan.
No, I don't think.
No, actually, I mean, to be fair, 8th is nothing to write home about.
Oh. Zimmerman's taken out one of the braking signs on the in-lap.
Yeah, and I would like to highlight.
Maybe this is some sort of stand against racism that we're not quite understanding.
Thompson.
I don't know about. I think Charlotte Thompson started way back, so
he was last after he got an engine issue in qualifying. I think he didn't settle up.
Good drive, it seems there.
Yeah, nearly crashed there. So that was good ball.
Not only did Ethan get the race winner wrong, he also got his statistics wrong. Ethan would have been right if he had used. The WTCL hub. A
I'm
wonderful
here
place
to be
for making
wrong.
sure you don't look like an idiot when you're meant to be on commentary.
I think that was something that was already happening, regardless of my getting the facts wrong. Okay. Exciting finish at the end. We're not expecting that. Marriott Boucher and just I'm very much gonna be keeping an eye out for what they have to say, the officials, because that was just reckless. Even if it was accidental, it's not something you do. It's at this level, it's terrible. What we've seen. Travaillant had brake failure, and Cordova had suspension failure. It didn't look like a brake failure for Travaillant, but there you go. Unless he was down into a braking zone when it happened, then maybe. But yeah.
Yeah, amazing end of the race.
Very good first race. Many cars had the opportunity to win that there. You could have said, Mendez or Håkansson or either of the Ironsides. It could have been Torres or Babignon. Corleone even. There was so many people up in that front group, and they were so competitive, and they were just changing positions, and it got a bit quieter towards the end, but that is what you want to see. A very good fight.
It was quieter towards the end. Corleone dive bombed what was his name? Thomas going into the final corner and got a podium. What do you mean?
Corleone also had the I think it was Babignon, the mega overtake for a Rouge.
Yeah. I don't know what you mean it went quiet. Corleone dive bombed someone at the final corner. Like what?
Well, it can't.
You heard it here, guys. Ethan doesn't appreciate dive bombs.
If you ignore the hecticness of the last lap, it did go a bit quieter towards the end. But overall,
well, the last lap is pretty much towards the end. I don't. But if you ignore the actual end, it was quite disappointing towards the end.
Yeah, this is what I mean. I think, obviously, I think that's very good for the actual story of it all. But yeah, towards the last few laps, it started spreading out a bit more, and that was that. For the first 2/3 of the race, all fair game, all very good.
Now we just need to teach them the limits of track limits.
Well, there was some track limit issues, I'm not going to lie. But I have to say...
Minor step backs.
I have to be most impressed with Corleone. I don't know, where did he start?
8th.
Where did Corleone start? Corleone started...
8th.
He's come up to 3rd. A little bit of assistance. Generally good drive, but some of the overtaking he was pulling, that mega overtake for a Rouge, and we saw that, getting the win.
I know.
Getting the 3rd place on getting into the second to last corner, technically.
I know driver of the day is voted for by people and that, but if it was down to me, I'd be giving it to Corleone, just like dive bomb in the final corner.
That's not even considering the overtake he pulled up through a Rouge.
Yeah, and the one for a Rouge. I mean, yeah, he was like, what, 5th, 6th, entering the final lap? Got a podium. Madness.
I don't know I can't remember who it was. Someone also pulled a brilliant overtake down, heading down to the bus stop through that high-speed corner around the outside. I don't know who it was. It possibly could be Corleone still. I don't know. I think we're going to have to look back at the footage for that.
Honestly, giving it to Corleone, anything could have happened. I don't know.
Some of the overtaking this race was brilliant, especially by Corleone. He, easy to say he's my driver of the race. And I think unless you have if someone else has a mega performance race too, then it's going to have to be him.
And if Corleone puts in another good performance in race 2, you've got to be wondering if...
I will say, though, also...
Could Corleone potentially win the Drivers' Championship?
We talked about
I'm very sorry for
David Lester, but he's going to start second in this reverse race.
Wait, what? Oh.
With the reverse grid, Nikolaev will be on pole, Lester will be second.
Lester's title bid is back on, boys.
Third.
Oh, God, Nikolaev starting on pole. Someone's about to get murdered.
Rodel and Ndai.
Four
Volkswagens in the top 5 positions on the reverse grid.
Well, that's going to be fun.
And you're also going to have Ndai, who we've seen is a little bit...
interesting. Although interesting.
Crazy.
In fact, here's a fun fact for you. Lindqvist will start 7th. Wait, hang on. Yeah. So Lindqvist started 6th in the first race. He's going to start 7th in the sprint race, or the second race even. Kind of tells you how his race went. Didn't quite go to plan.
Very disappointing.
Yeah, given that the Renault has had pace, I thought Lindqvist might be on for a podium. I guess
You say this, but the only Renault who was up and fighting really was Håkansson.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Renault though. You'll get one or two drivers doing well, and the rest of them will be towards the back.
The BMWs have absolutely having a brilliant time at this track. 6 of the top 9, with the exception of Torres, Ezio de Bonaventura, and our race winner Håkansson.
They had a good time, but they didn't win the race. Okay. But I don't know if you can really be having a good time if you don't win the race. That's just me. Winner's mentality, I don't know.
And the BMWs have been the dominant car so far. Yeah, I think that's all from this first sprint race of the whole WTCL, and also from this weekend. And we'll be back with the second race. So thanks for watching, and see you soon with the second race.